Hey, what's going on, Victorious family, Victorious Army? How are y'all doing today? Hope y'all are doing well. Hope y'all are feeling better. Just cause it's always great to feel better. Today I wanted to talk about being a great manager of self. Right? This kind of plays off of taking life into your own hands, but expounding on it a little bit more. Right? As far as like scheduling. Right? Being a great manager of self. Right? So I'm going to say shout out to 19 Keys for that, right? Because when you wake up in the morning, right, you have a certain amount of decision making energy, right? A certain amount of energy to make decisions to get things done, right? Looking at it for, I guess, towards a more energetic standpoint to a degree, right? So, right, you get up in the morning, right? You decide to do some push ups. Boom, that's done, right? So now you've depleted that energy for the day, right? Because you did the push-ups, right? You expelled energy to do those push-ups to make yourself feel better, to strengthen yourself, right? And then this is more so for scheduling, right? Because earlier I said a taking your life into your own hands video. You know, get a piece of paper, write down the schedule that you feel would be the best for you to follow. You know, what feels right with that for you, right? I think an example I used was you can get up in the morning and just eat some food, right? Have some breakfast, right? Everybody's different. It just depends on you, right? So now, right, being a good manager of self, right, having that schedule written out is probably one of the best things to do. Because now, right, let's say, you didn't necessarily write nothing down. You got up, you did some push-ups, you went to use the restroom, you went out for a run, you did this, you got to some goals during the day, you had your day and you thought it was excellent, right? The next morning you wake up, right? You have all of that in your mind, but you don't necessarily have it written down. So it happened, you did it, but it's not as foundated, I guess, or not as structured as you would like it to be, right? So this is the important part for writing things down in a schedule. So personally, I have mine written out and I follow it to a degree, right? I'm still getting into the swing of things, if I'm honest, right? Can't say, oh yeah, I just do it every day. Just get up and go. No, it don't work like that. But the thing is, the more you maintain it, right? As in, right, you have your schedule written out, and each and every day you look back at it to make sure you're following these different things to do each day. The more you do it, the more you foundate it within your mind, and the more you foundate it within yourself, right? And plus, right, it's no longer just within your mind, it's in writing. So now technically it is more real, right? It exists within the world, not just your mind. So, right, being a great manager of self also means you have to be conscious of time, right? Yes, there is no time, right? Because everything is just one giant moment, and right, time is only a construct. But we use time to schedule different meetings and things we do during the day, right? So, regardless of anything, right, time is still a great key factor within your life, right? And farther more than just getting up and working out and eating and got your schedule going, but now you have to start to pace yourself, right? You have to start to consciously take time and look and see, where am I at with this, right? Because now you have to keep yourself in check, right? Because now you have to think, okay, I decided to write for 30 minutes, right? So being on your time or on your schedule, right? You can set up a timer or just take looks at the clock, but I think the best way to do it would be to, set a timer, right? Okay, I wrote for 30 minutes, right? I expended that energy to write for 30 minutes. So now what, right? On to the next thing that you may have written down on your schedule, right? After you're done writing, right? Then maybe it could be, you can take a break, right? Take a break for 5 minutes. Then now I'm going to go film a video, right? I'm going to go and do something constructive for this amount of time, right? Because now you have to be your own timekeeper. Because like I said in my other vlog, right? No one's going to tell you when it's time to do this. No one's going to tell you when it's time to do that, right? So you have to keep track of that yourself. Then another thing, if you are one who has vices, right? Or, you enjoy drinking or smoking or I don't know, food, right? Anything, right? Now, as being a great manager of yourself, now you must decide, right? Should I go and smoke that cigarette, right? Should I go and eat now, even though I'm not hungry? Should I go and drink this now because it feels good, or do this now, right? The thing is, you don't necessarily have to stop doing it, but as far as you keeping yourself in check, right? Maybe you set a time for you to do that, right? Like maybe after that 30-minute writing session, right? Now I'm going to go have me a cigarette and smoke it for 5 minutes and come back in and get all my stuff, right? But once again, the hardest part I think about all of this, for me in particular, is really just keeping yourself up with it, right? Keeping up on it, staying with it, right? Because the thing is, right, like I said, it's only you doing it now, right? It's you going about it, taking the time to do this and to do that, right? Taking the time to schedule things out, taking time to do what you schedule. Right? Once again, as you move with it, it gets a bit easier, because now you're more used to it, right? Say 2 or 3 days, after starting your schedule, right? So now you have that a bit more foundated within you, right? So now for the first day, it may be difficult, right? The second day, it may still be a touch difficult, but at least now you have a rigorous type of setup there, right? And the third day might become easier, and then so on and so forth for the fourth day, the fifth day, the sixth day, right? You can keep rolling with it. But the thing is, right, like I just said earlier, right, staying up on it, staying with it. You must stay with it for yourself, right? This is why I was saying you must set up a schedule or set up some type of routine. I don't really like saying routine because it just seems robotic to me. But, setting up your schedule in a way that you would like it, right? In a way that you would enjoy to go about and do these things, or it makes you feel better to do it in this way rather than, another way. And then also, right, you can change up your schedule, right? You don't have to just stay right here within this pocket, right? You can only do it like this. You can only be done like this. No. You can change your schedule up, right? It's up to you. It's your schedule. It's yours to move around, right? So if you don't like getting up in the morning and then going on a run, right? Maybe you're a night runner, right? Maybe you can get up in the morning, go use the restroom, go downstairs, get something to eat, do things like that, and then later on in the day go on that run, right? It may be more comfortable. It may be. It may not be, right? Right? Or instead of doing push-ups as soon as you roll out the bed, maybe you just simply change the exercise, like squats or sit-ups. Or once again, right, you just save your workouts for the afternoon, or maybe mid-afternoon, right? It just depends on where you would like to place each and everything for you, right? And the whole point of doing this, being that great manager of self, making the schedule, making the time to do these things, is so you can move forward upon your goals and your vision and your dreams and whatever it is you wish to do, right? Whew. Because once again, like I was saying in my previous vlog, right? If you choose not to do it that day, then you just ain't doing it that day. Chose not to do that, you didn't do it and it didn't get done. Because you are responsible for getting things done for you, right? And saying like, oh, I'm responsible for this and that, right? Because responsibilities seem crappy, really. But instead of thinking about it like that, look at it in a more forward view, like a forward perception for yourself. Meaning, I'm doing these things to better myself. I'm doing these things to allow me to get further, right? And continue to reinforce this within your mind, right? I can do this. I will do this. I deserve to do this for me. I am worthy to do these things for me, right? Different thoughts and repetitive things like that, right? But right, back to the more energetic point of it, right? Like I was saying, right, when you first get up in the morning, right, and let's say you do your push-ups, right, you've expended that amount of energy to do those push-ups. That was one decision you made that day, right? So now you have one less decision to make throughout the entire day. Meaning, right, like I don't really know how many decisions you're going to make during the day, right? It's up to you. It depends on your energy, it depends on how you're feeling, it depends on your health, it depends on a lot of different things, right? But let's say you make up to 15 to 20 decisions a day. I don't know, just a guess. You can make that many, you can make more, you can make less. I don't know. But let's say you make 15 to 20 decisions a day, right? So now you got your push-ups done. Boom, that's one decision less. So now you've got about 14 more decisions you can make. Or 19 more decisions you can make. We'll stick with 20 instead of bouncing with these numbers back and forth, driving people mad. Anyway, right, so now you have 19 more decisions that you can make, right? And the next decision after that, right, you can go to the restroom. Boom. So now you have 18 decisions. Like, you see where it's kind of going with this, right? And you can track your decisions and what you make during the day if you stay constantly with it, right? Or you can give yourself a certain amount of decisions that you're going to make during the day involving your schedule or your routine, right? You can write down the 20 decisions I'm going to make during the day, right? Do my push-ups, do my run, do my this, do my that, right? Because then, right, let's say you get to your 19th decision, right? You're probably feeling pretty tired. You may be feeling drained, right? Doing all of these different things, right? And then, like, you have one decision left. So after you use up that last decision, I'm not saying that you can't just make any more decisions, right? But after you use up that last one, you've pretty much used up your energy for the day. So, with that being said, right, then you can look back and see, what did you accomplish this day, right? Did I use these decisions well enough to put me on my way to where it is I want to be? And then keep in mind, right, all of this is a process, right? That was one word I kind of loathed, process. Oh, it's a process. Why can't it just be boom and done, right? Because it simply doesn't work that way, right? It's a process, right? Like Nipsey Hussle, who was also a great manager of self, said, said that this is a marathon, not a sprint, right? Meaning that, you know, 1 or 2 days on schedule, you know, that's great, but, you know, you're not going to be at your goal. You're not going to be at your finish line. You're not going to be at your point at which you get to, right? Because it takes more time. It takes longer amounts of time to do things. But at the same time, right, it does take some time to do things, but, right, the more you do it, the better you'll be at it. The quicker you can start to do things, the quicker you can make your decisions. And the more you can do within that period of decision-making time to expend that energy, right? It does get better. But the idea is to set up that beginning point that makes things easier upon you, right? So, you know, that's about it, really. You know, just you know, giving a little bit of a basis of what, you know, I was able to learn and put forward within my actions during my days. So, I mean, you know, only thing you can do is really stay strong, you know. Stay at it for yourself, right? Because like I said, if you don't do it that day, it don't get done, right? If you didn't decide to do it, or if you forgot, it didn't get done. It's still there, right? So all you can do is just make sure that you are fulfilling your schedule. Make sure that you are making your goals happen. You're putting these different steps in to complete your process. So, with that being said, lead yourself to your greatest victory, and peace. Peace and love.